Here's the moose leg bone that LamokaGhost sent me, and we're gonna start working this over. Do the same thing, use the belt grinder and the bandsaw to shape it up, get it in shape, and start make a moose bone knife out of this. So thanks, Jim, for letting me work this over. Something you got to watch for when you're starting a bone blade is, this is a piece my oldest boy was working on this morning, and it actually was a wider piece, and it was about like that right there. Well, it had a crack in it. We thought we could keep working, but it didn't. It came apart. So he's he's working on a thinner blade, but something you got to watch for. If you notice a crack in it, you may not want to keep working on it or turn it into like a needle or an awl, instead of wasting time trying to make a blade and then your piece falls off. But anyway, that's what you got to watch for. Okay, we got the moose leg, got the joint sawed off, and then we sawed the blade in half, and we'll go ahead and get the marrow cleaned out and clean the bone up. The difference, there's a difference if you leave the marrow in and let it set for a while. The bone will turn amber looking, and if you take the marrow out right away, it'll be white like this bone here, or if you leave it long enough outside, it'll turn white, of course. But either way, that's both blades are pretty. I mean, the amber one is the sun shines through it, so it looks really nice. So anyway, we'll go ahead and clean these up and start grinding. Alright, got the blade roughed out pretty good. It's not totally symmetrical, but it's pretty close. There's a natural curvature to the bone that I didn't want to keep going down and lose width. So at this point we're going to go over and move to the fine sandpaper and sand it, and then put some steel wool and buff it up. Here we've got it sanded pretty good, getting a pretty good shine to it. Now we'll use a little steel wool on it and clean it up some more. And we've got it buffed up pretty good. You can see it's got a real good shine on it now. We've got pretty long blade. I wasn't sure. This is the first time I worked moose leg bone. We got a pretty good blade. It's a good thick blade too. It's nice. It's about 9 1/4 inches long and 1 1/4 inches wide. So it's a really nice blade. At this point, I'm not sure if we're gonna put this in a antler handle or in a leg bone. I think it'd be a little bit big to put in a deer leg bone. We're almost gonna need a piece of deer antler to put it in. So, but I'll turn it around here and show you what it looks like in the light. Here's what the blade looks like in the sun. It's got a good amber color to it. It's gonna be a pretty knife. So, but we'll get a deer antler handle started and get that hafted on there. Well, we decided to go with a deer leg bone. I think that'll look pretty good. I've tried to stain it just a little bit, and we'll go ahead and we're going to cut it off, cut our groove in it, and grind both sides a little bit to thin it down. Then we'll stain this end a little bit and get it ready to put the blade in. Now we'll go ahead and just thin both sides just to thin the hafting area up a little bit. Right there, that thins the hafting area up. We'll sand that a little bit and then we'll go ahead and put a little more stain on that. Alright, we got the blade polished real good. We've got the handle done where it fits in. What we're going to do is we're going to cut some notches in the bottom of the blade here. That way it'll slide in, it'll go a little further. Instead of bottoming out right here, it'll actually slide up a little more to make it firmer when we put the whole thing together. So we'll go ahead and use the bandsaw and cut some notches in the bottom of the blade. Yeah, that's going to work good. We'll clean that up just a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is we'll file some notches in the side. That way when we put the sinew on there, it'll tie it together good. We're also going to use pine pitch mixed with charcoal and plant fiber to hold the two pieces together. Here we've got the notches worked into the side. Now we'll sand those off just a little bit. Get that to focus. There we go. Sand those off a little bit and we're ready to mount this in the handle. Here we've got the pine pitch sealed in there good. Now what we're gonna do is get some sinew, wrap that good with sinew to help lock and tie that in there. Then I believe what we're going to do, probably like the last knife, I've got some yucca cordage. We're going to go ahead and wrap the handle with yucca cordage, and then we'll soak that with hide glue to tie that in. Okay, we got the sinew on there good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap the handle with the yucca cordage. I've got quite a bit of yucca cordage here, but we'll go ahead and start wrapping the handle. What I like to do is when I wrap a handle, every time I add a little bit more, I use my thumb and get more beside, and I push that up towards the blade every half a turn, and that makes the wrap, it keeps it nice and tight as you're adding it on there. There we go. Got the handle on. I'm going to go ahead and I like to soak this in hide glue to really get a good set on that. But we'll soak that in hide glue, and we've got a finished knife. Jim, I sure appreciate you letting me work this moose leg bone. I think these turned out pretty good. Hope you like it, man. I was doing a final little clip showing the two blades that were made out of the moose leg bone. These are sister blades. One came off one side, one came off the other side of the leg bone. I took and mounted both of them with deer leg bones. I used a torch and kind of darkened the leg bone on this one, and then kind of polished it. And of course I used yucca also for the handle. The one that I did for Jim, actually I just stained it. You can use natural tannin stains. You can make them just out of oak leaves, actually. Black walnut hulls, they work good too. Anything of that nature, it'll stain bone. It'll stain it a nice brown color. But I thought I'd show you a final little clip of both the blades together, and I think they turned out real good. Wouldn't mind working some moose or caribou bone again. It works pretty good. What I'm trying for now is see if I can get a couple buffalo leg bones, and ought to get almost probably a machete out of something of that nature. But you could easily take these, the moose leg bone, and cut it in half and end up with two. You could actually end up with four real nice knives out of one moose leg bone. But anyway, thanks for watching.